Have you ever wondered why two people can wake up on the same morning, with the same 24 hours ahead of them, and yet 5 years later, one is living a life filled with purpose, confidence, and freedom while the other is still trapped in the same routines, the same excuses, and the same regrets? It isn't because one person was luckier. It isn't because one was born with extraordinary talent. And it certainly isn't because success suddenly knocked on one door while ignoring the other. The truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your future is quietly being built by the things you do every single day, especially the things that seem too small to matter. Every decision, every thought, every habit is like placing one brick on top of another. At first, you can't see the house taking shape. The progress feels invisible. You question whether your efforts are worth it. But one day you look back and realize those tiny bricks have become an extraordinary life. The biggest mistake most people make is waiting for a dramatic transformation. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect motivation, or the perfect moment. But life doesn't change because of one giant leap. It changes because of 1,000 small steps taken consistently. Today, you're about to discover 10 simple habits that seem almost insignificant on their own, yet together they have the power to completely transform the direction of your life. These aren't complicated strategies. They don't require extraordinary intelligence or unlimited resources. They require only one thing: the willingness to become just a little better today than you were yesterday. Because small habits don't just change your days, they change who you become. And once you change who you become, everything else begins to change with you. The first habit is to start your day with intention instead of reaction. Most people wake up and immediately surrender control of their minds. They grab their phones before they even get out of bed. Within minutes, they're consuming other people's opinions, problems, achievements, and distractions. Before they've had a chance to think their own thoughts, their minds are already crowded with everyone else's. Imagine beginning each morning differently. Imagine spending just 10 quiet minutes asking yourself, who do I want to be today? What matters most today? What one thing can I accomplish that moves my life forward? Those few moments may seem insignificant, but they set the emotional and mental direction for the rest of your day. Every successful journey begins with choosing the destination before taking the first step. The second habit is reading something that helps you grow every single day. Your income may change, your job may change, and even your relationships may change, but one investment will always stay with you: the investment you make in your own mind. Every page you read introduces you to ideas that could save you years of mistakes. Think about it. The wisest people in history have already written down their experiences. Their victories and failures are available to you for the cost of a single book. Yet most people would rather spend hours scrolling through endless entertainment than 15 minutes learning something that could change their future. Knowledge alone won't transform your life, but applied knowledge certainly will. Feed your mind with wisdom, and eventually your actions will begin to reflect it. The third habit is keeping the promises you make to yourself. This may be the most overlooked habit of all. We often think integrity is about keeping promises to other people, but true integrity begins with the commitments you make in private. Every time you tell yourself you'll wake up early, exercise, finish a project, or avoid procrastination, and then fail to follow through, you quietly weaken your confidence. You begin to doubt your own word. On the other hand, every small promise you keep strengthens your identity. Confidence isn't built by motivational speeches. It's built every time you prove to yourself that your actions match your intentions. Start with small promises if you have to. They may seem insignificant, but they become the foundation of self-respect. The fourth habit is practicing gratitude before focusing on what's missing. Human nature constantly searches for what's wrong. We notice what we don't have more than what we already possess. That mindset creates a life of endless dissatisfaction because there will always be another goal to chase. Gratitude doesn't make you complacent. It makes you emotionally strong enough to pursue bigger dreams without feeling empty in the process. Spend a few moments each day appreciating your health, your family, your opportunities, your lessons, and even your struggles. The grateful person walks through life with different eyes. They notice possibilities where others see problems. They recognize abundance where others complain about scarcity. The fifth habit is choosing progress over perfection. So many dreams die because people are waiting for the perfect time to begin. They spend months planning instead of doing. They worry about making mistakes before they've even taken the first step. But perfection is an illusion that keeps people standing still. Progress, however, creates momentum. A small improvement every day may not seem impressive, but over months and years it becomes extraordinary. Imagine improving just 1% each day. At first, the difference feels invisible, but compound that improvement over time, and the person you become will hardly resemble the person you once were. Success belongs to those who are willing to be beginners long enough to become masters. The sixth habit is protecting your environment, because your environment quietly shapes your behavior. If you're surrounded by negativity, excuses, and constant distractions, staying disciplined becomes an uphill battle. But when your surroundings encourage growth, success begins to feel natural. Look around your room. Look at your workspace. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Every one of these influences is either pulling you forward or holding you back. You don't become successful by accident. You create conditions where success becomes easier. Organize your space. Remove unnecessary distractions. Spend more time with people who challenge you to grow. Your environment whispers instructions to your mind every single day. Make sure it's whispering the right ones. The seventh habit is learning to finish what you start. We live in a world filled with unfinished dreams, unfinished books, unfinished businesses, unfinished goals, and unfinished potential. Starting something feels exciting because possibilities are endless. Finishing requires discipline because reality enters the picture. Every completed task teaches your mind that you're someone who follows through. Whether it's reading a book, completing a workout, finishing a course, or completing a difficult conversation, every finish line strengthens your character. Winners aren't people who always feel motivated. They're people who have developed the habit of finishing, especially when the excitement disappears. The eighth habit is asking yourself better questions. Your life often follows the quality of the questions you ask yourself. When something goes wrong, many people immediately ask, "Why does this always happen to me?" That question leads the mind toward blame and frustration. Instead, ask, "What is this situation trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? What's the next best decision I can make?" The human mind is like a search engine. Give it a poor question, and it will produce poor answers. Give it a powerful question, and it will begin searching for opportunities you never noticed before. The questions you repeatedly ask become the direction of your thinking, and your thinking becomes the direction of your life. The ninth habit is making time for quiet reflection. Modern life celebrates constant movement, but wisdom often grows in silence. If you're always busy, always entertained, and always distracted, you'll never hear your own thoughts clearly. Reflection allows you to evaluate your decisions instead of repeating them blindly. Spend a few minutes at the end of each day asking yourself what went well, what didn't, and what you can improve tomorrow. This simple practice transforms ordinary experience into valuable wisdom. Without reflection, years can pass without meaningful growth. With reflection, even difficult days become stepping stones toward a better future. The 10th habit is becoming someone who consistently gives more than expected. Whether you're working at a job, building a business, studying, or helping your family, develop the habit of doing a little extra. Not because someone is watching, but because excellence is becoming part of your identity. People often ask how they can stand out in a competitive world. The answer is surprisingly simple. Become the person who can always be counted on. Deliver more value than people expect. Be more prepared. Be more reliable. Be more positive. Opportunities have a way of finding people whose reputation speaks louder than their words. Here's something remarkable about these 10 habits. None of them require extraordinary talent. None of them depend on your age, your education, your background, or your bank account. Every single one is available to you today. The difference between an average life and an extraordinary one often isn't found in dramatic decisions. It's hidden inside ordinary moments that most people ignore. Every morning you choose intention over distraction. Every evening you choose reflection over mindless entertainment. Every promise you keep strengthens your confidence. Every page you read expands your thinking. Every act of gratitude reshapes your perspective. These tiny actions seem invisible because their results aren't immediate. But just like planting a seed, growth begins long before anyone can see it. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because they're obsessed with quick results. They want success to happen instantly. They expect one workout to transform their body, one book to transform their mind, or one opportunity to transform their finances. Life simply doesn't work that way. Great lives are built the same way. Great buildings are constructed, one brick at a time. If you place one brick every day with care, patience, and excellence, eventually you'll stand in front of something remarkable. The tragedy is that most people quit after laying only a few bricks because they can't yet see the finished structure. Remember this whenever progress feels slow. Every strong tree was once a tiny seed. Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident person was once uncertain. Every successful life was once nothing more than a collection of small, repeated choices. Don't judge today's effort by today's results. Judge today's effort by the future it's creating. Your habits are writing your story long before your achievements become visible to the world. 5 years from now, your life will be shaped far less by the goals you wrote down and far more by the habits you practiced every day. Goals give you direction, but habits determine whether you ever arrive. That's why the smartest investment you'll ever make isn't in a stock, a business, or a piece of property. It's in the daily routines that quietly transform the person you become. So don't leave today looking for one giant change. Leave today committed to one small habit. Wake up with intention. Read a few pages. Keep one promise to yourself. Practice gratitude. Choose progress over perfection. Protect your environment. Finish what you start. Ask better questions. Reflect on your day. Give more than expected. These habits may look ordinary, but practiced consistently, they produce extraordinary lives. One day, people will look at your confidence, your discipline, your success, and your peace of mind, and they'll call you lucky. They won't see the quiet mornings, the difficult choices, the repeated effort, and the countless moments when you chose growth instead of comfort. But you'll know the truth. Your life didn't change because of one extraordinary moment. It changed because you made ordinary moments extraordinary through the habits you practiced every single day. And when you master your habits, you no longer chase a better life. Your habits create it for you. Before you leave today, remember this. Your future is not being decided by the big moments that happen once in a while. It is being shaped by the small choices you make every single day. Every habit is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and action over excuses, you move one step closer to the life you've always imagined. Don't underestimate the power of starting small. The smallest habits, repeated consistently, can produce the greatest transformations. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You simply need to become a little better today than you were yesterday. Success is never built in a single day, but it is built daily. The person who refuses to quit, who keeps showing up even when no one is watching, will eventually achieve what those who rely on motivation never will. Years from now, you'll either thank yourself for the habits you started today, or you'll wish you had started sooner. The choice is yours, and it always has been. Your destiny isn't waiting somewhere in the future. It's being created by what you do after this moment. So walk away with a decision. Choose one habit. Commit to it. Protect it. Repeat it until it becomes part of who you are. Because when you change your habits, you change your character. When you change your character, you change your future. And when you change your future, you don't just transform your own life. You become the kind of person who inspires everyone around you to believe that lasting success is possible. Your best life is not one giant leap away. It's one small habit away. Start today. Stay consistent. Never look back. The life you've been dreaming of is already waiting for the person you're becoming.